Okay, we're being recorded. Hello, how you doing, everybody? My name is Dr. Nichelle with Conversations with Dr. Nichelle. We are doing our book review for Carry the Bag. So everybody, we have our book. So if you think you want to join in with us, let one of us know and we will join you in on our Skype call. We are reviewing the first two chapters. So let's go. I don't know who wants to go first. We can just be authentic. Be authentic. Oh, and the reason why I got this book, and it reason why I chose and I introduced the book, and we have three generations, you all. And the reason why I chose this book, I heard the book on the a show, and the guy seemed like that he was so down to earth. And I know me and my sons, a lot of times we have talked about financial freedom, and April is Financial Freedom Month. So why not do this? What?
Lola's over here crying. Hold on one second.
Dog troubles.
But that's okay. That's authentic. It's authentic.
Oh, cut out the budget.
So the first, I guess we can go ahead. The first two chapters that we're talking about is It's Time to Get Serious and What Do You Want? So I guess we can start with the youngest generation that's here, our Generation Z, which is Aki Royalty. And you can explain your takes on the book. What did you get out on first two chapters?
Well, like more on the first chapter, like how I kind of looked at it was Mr. Rob Wilson was more of explaining on how people normally look at everything and how people at a religious standpoint in the first chapter would always say they didn't want to make money because money was the root of all evil, and people in a religious standpoint thought that, and they thought, oh, it's better for us to live happy, and happy doesn't necessarily mean money. But he will explain that money is the second most important thing in the world, just because they can't charge us to breathe. So
Right up there with
The
April.
first thing is oxygen, right? And then the second thing is money.
Right. So we can just do it like we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
And all you all, we're not in the same city. So this is why we decided to do this. Thought it would be a great thing to do. Um, so next, let's go ahead. I underlined some stuff in here, some items. It said the sooner you realize that money is just a tool,
Yeah.
it's there for you to use as you please. As soon as you claim that power over money as your own, and the better off you will be ultimately. I underlined that. Did you all underline that? Or
I actually put that in my notes.
Yeah.
like I had underlined the part where he says that if you're not intentionally trying to gain wealth, then you might accidentally become poor.
Yep.
So, like that was really big, and I enjoyed that thought that he put in there.
Yeah. It kind of
It's a lot
you
of
do use the analogy of if you don't try to be healthy, then you will ultimately be unhealthy.
right.
Like you don't have to plan for the inevitable. Like if you aren't exercising, um, you trying to reach this potential goal, then you'll ultimately fail at reaching it.
it's kind of reminds me of like affirmations. Now, like you do positive affirmations, and you have to like basically try to, you have to claim that you're going to be successful, or you're going to be able to attain whatever amount that you say that you want. I know that I'm kind of getting on chapter 2 a little bit,
Right.
but
That's
I'm
okay.
gonna stick to, well, the one thing that I wrote down that I thought was like really important in chapter 1 was, is the number one thing in life, more important than money, is oxygen. And when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And that is basically saying, you know, how bad do you want it? You know what I mean? How like what are you gonna do to the success and the financial independence.
Yeah, and I know it sounds like a cliche because I know like a lot of people says that plan for it, and it kind of goes by the wayside because people tend to lose intensity or the intensity that they felt when they first came up with it, and it kind of dies down. So gotta set subtle reminders. They use the Jim Carrey thing, like he wrote himself.
That was in chapter 2.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're not so technical. Sorry.
Right, that's okay.
But having these certain reminders will kind of remind you of your why or your motivation.
Yeah.
So he said he had a check that he wrote for $10 million that he put in his wallet. So every time he actually went into his wallet, he would see that. So it's kind of like you nagging yourself for a little bit. Like, what are you doing to get to me? What did you do today to get to me? Like,
Right.
in that sense.
The thing about what happened, what this book brought to me, because when you all were home, my motivation was higher in order to move forward, being successful and making money. And I can say of the last 8 years, I have gotten lazy on my drive and my aspirations and what I want to do. So I can't say, when we stopped playing Cash Flow 101, because when we were playing Cash Flow 101, we were talking, we were moving. You all were my motivation, my push. But then I started getting a little lax. So I needed that push. And I didn't have anyone to push because guess why? It's more, because y'all wasn't here. So look, so I'm blaming you all. I'm not taking personal responsibility. Like a typical American. I'm not taking
responsibility.
No personal responsibility. But that push of doing certain things, then I was like, dag, am I where I wanted to be at 50? Because I turned 51 this year, but am I where I wanted to be at 50? And I look back and I think about how things are going and how things can go, and how also that motivation. Because I heard a quote that says, don't change your vision, just change how you're going to get there.
Yeah.
I've always had that vision, that my ultimate vision is to have a non-for-profit organization. Did it, but to give students, regular students, who C students, your B students, just to have money for them, for school to be paid for, because there's always something for A students. There are always students who don't have the money. But what about the regular people who are doing what they're supposed to do? They're going to school, they're getting a job, they no children, because even if, I'm not knocking the people who have kids at an early age, but you have the single parents who have children, and plus I was a single parent at an early age. They get all these benefits, but what about the ones that did the right stuff? You, like you, Leandre, like you, Lindsay, you all did what you were supposed to do, but you get dinged for doing what you're supposed to.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so when I got this book, I'm like, okay, this is putting us back on path, and I'm charging you all to keep me in check.
Yeah.
And vice versa, we could keep each other in check to move forward on what we need to do, regardless of each other's ideas, aspirations, and things like that. I just went on a tangent.
Well, yeah, no, the accountability is so important, especially like the crazy thing is that you won't do for yourself what other people expect. You know, if you have someone else expecting you to do a project with you, let's say that you have a piece in a project and you have a responsibility, and you will make sure you do that because you have other people counting on you. So when we all hold each other accountable, it's like, okay, well, I did say I was going to do this, and I promised, sorry, I kind of spit. I promised my family, shut up. I promised my family that I was gonna do this for them, or well, really for myself. But you know, just basically accountability is important in anything, I think.
Like a workout partner,
Yeah.
or somebody like they, basically just.
I think that something that was great that people normally don't do when it's going to pursuing their goals or getting to where they want, because people do lose hunger every now and again for what they want, but writing it down most definitely does get it out, visualizing what you want and what you're seeking, making it very specific on what you want so you can reach that goal in a specific time frame as well.
I kind of wanted to touch on something in chapter 1 where it was on page 3 where it stated that like when you get on a flight, you just kind of put your AirPods on and you really don't pay attention to what the flight attendant is telling you, but she's telling you something important. You need to make sure that if the cabin loses pressure, you make sure you get oxygen first before you help somebody else. So I think that's like with finances, a lot of, I'll say in the Black community, we have this generational curse where we have to, like, if we're the ones that made it, you know what I mean? We're the successful party. For example, LeBron James, right? Although he's a pillar in his own community, but he has a responsibility to make sure he brings everybody else from the hood with him. And sometimes that could be a curse for some people because you worry about everybody else. You give everybody else oxygen, and then you don't make sure that you have oxygen first. So that was something that I thought was like really important. Make sure you secure the bag first, basically.
Right. Because a lot of times when they don't have the grit that you have, and once it's passed on to them, they're not responsible enough to, or even take to move forward with that. And like you said on page 3, then I move on to page 4. He said, Jay-Z said, I can't help the poor if I'm one of them, which is that's what you were saying. So how I'm going to help someone who's poor if I'm one of them? I underline that. What made me laugh was, and this thing's a lot of things we had heard at the bottom of page 4. Mm-hmm. You've all seen that. Your parents probably told you you need to study hard, do your homework, get good grades, go to college, and then you get a good job. We're in 2019.
Yeah.
How's that working out?
In 2019.
Yeah, and but it's like it's constantly evolving, I guess, of how, well, I guess within the last 10 years, like even just social media and how people buy CDs or how we watch movies now. You got somebody came up with this Uber thing and they don't even have any cars. You know, they don't have to pay for cars or anything. Like it's just a lot of ways to utilize the resources that we do have. And I guess in doing that, back again, I guess backtrack to the generational curse thing. Like we saying, like the people, like what they say, teach a man how to fish. You can give a man a fish, he can eat for a day. Teach a man to fish. So like what LeBron did, he put them through school and gave them businesses, you know. So it kind of made it so they can actually branch that out down as well,
feed themselves,
and do their own generational thing and teach them as well. Because it's like when you build to become a millionaire, you're more than likely to keep it. But if you have people that are like NBA players, NFL players, like the average NFL player go broke within 5 years, like after retiring, because in sense like they're a lottery winner. You know, like you're a lottery winner and you didn't, I guess, work and do the necessities every day in order to get there. You just go blow it because you don't have the mindset for it. So it's kind of like, or if you get liposuction, you're probably gonna get fat again, like because you didn't exercise and eat right to get to that point, you know. Right. So it's just, and going back to that, well, I guess it's that motivational thing is kind of, I guess since we still at the beginning, we haven't gotten to like the how yet. I guess it's kind of like the first thing. So. But it's a real easy read. I like it. He's funny.
I tell people go ahead and get it because we're doing it right here. But I want to ask you all a question. Do you think sometimes, because I think sometimes we make it too easy for other people because they just like one of your songs, Dre. We're talking about the 20% over the 80%. a lot of times people just see the tip of the iceberg. They don't see the grit. They don't see the hustle. They don't see all the non-sleep. They don't see the not eating. They don't see, okay, you know, I need to save this amount of money for this particular business. But for this whole next 6 months, I'm only going to eat this type of food and put the rest of that money away. Or, you know what? We're going to get a 4-bedroom or 3-bedroom house, and where each bedroom is going to be each family's house, each family room, and everybody work, and then we put that money away. They don't see about certain things that we can sacrifice over the next 2-3 years in order to come up on certain things. So I'm excited about reading what we have on. So let's go ahead to chapter 2. Oh, did you only say anything on chapter 1, Ike?
Oh no, like I was like very like I'm actually very jumpy because I did read a little bit on. I'm very jumpy on like.
You cheating.
Unlike the
we stand too. Don't talk about the.
It's like, it's like really difficult to like not jump to that portion. I try not to read it. I couldn't help it.
What I underlined in chapter.
It's a good read. That's probably why.
Since has page 11. I underlined, since when has planning for just enough been okay?
When you plan for just enough, you end up with not enough.
Right, but
that's all you get is just enough. You
don't got no cushion.
You don't get nothing else outside of that.
Right.
You don't have no cushion to like, I guess if anything was to happen.
It's not a good plan.
Right, because a lot of times, because I think about, because I'm a professor, you all who are going to end up looking at this video, I have students who they're okay with getting a C. They're okay with, not because, now there are some hard C's. There are some C's that we can get when you're in college. You know, if you got a C, that's that A work. You have professors like that.
Yeah.
But when you have that class that, you know what, you should get an A out, but you just get a C, you're like, okay, you're really just doing okay, really. Why are you not even pushing yourself?
Like, yeah, I like some examples too. Like what if you did just enough, like
just enough work at your job.
Yeah.
Like just.
Well, if you did just enough work at your job, your boss is not expecting you to do just enough work. They want you to do the best, and and that's why they hired you, is so that you can do the best. So if you're doing just enough in life, then are you really doing anything?
Right. Why are you living?
It was kind of like
he said, would you walk around with a straw in your mouth just because like that's just enough air you need?
Yeah, like
I like that.
Those some crazy examples that they use. Like,
and there's your quote about the Jim Carrey, page 12.
And that right there is the positive, the affirmations and the visual, like the vision boards that people usually do, where they have a reminder of, okay, this is my goal. And then it's a reminder for them to continue to work on that goal. You have to have a reminder, because if you don't, you're not going to be focused on where you're trying to go. So I really like that idea of writing a check to yourself. I'm just trying to figure out how much. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I did, because that's what they want us to do at the end of chapter 2, right?
Yeah.
And when I wrote down my notes for chapter 2, I did what I want to make this first year, even though we're in month 5. So from month 5 to month 12, what am I pushing for? I have me an amount. And I'm going to push. And like I said, you make it big. You make a big old goal, something that you know you got to really work for. So it is a big goal on the financial side, and what it's going to end up doing for me in December 2019, December 31st, 2019. So I did that inside of my journal when we were asking about the amount. So I did my first year, then you said 3, but I did 2 years, then I did 5.
Okay.
That's why I did.
Like there's this question on the Money Talk financial goal worksheet that I had wrote on, and it was, do you feel like you're currently being paid what you're worth? And if not, why aren't you being paid what you're worth? Like one thing that I've always looked at is whenever people are working the 9 to 5 and everything, and you're taking that extra step to either get a promotion or make more money than where you were. One thing can happen is that that person that hired you, the person that owns the business, own McDonald's, AT&T, Apple, they're already accomplishing their dreams. They're already at that point.
And
So
they made the risk. They made the risk. They
yes,
risked.
yeah. So it's like what are they doing that the other person, that the regular 9 to 5 worker isn't doing? Everyone's able to do the same thing. So it all comes down to knowing your self worth and self value and doing what you can do to live the best life you want to live.
That's so
So
true.
I know a lot of them they go off of like we get paid just to show up, like and they get paid off results basically.
Right.
So it's kind of yeah, like you said, like that risk you got to take. I guess how much you want to dive in at any given time is the kind of balance you got to try to put in, because you still got to eat. You still got to work.
You gotta have right. So like
So having that good balance, setting aside some money to pursue your dreams or whatever you want to do, start a business, do a scholarship, whatever. Like whatever you're trying to do to be financially independent.
right. You still gotta make sure you eat, got a roof over your head, and not a roof over your head at a homeless shelter type of roof. You want to be comfortable type of roof over your head as well. So you want to make sure that is there. So you're still paying your way
Yeah.
and still
Yeah.
saving the money, but you understanding what you can do to, like a little bit by little bit.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I was saying that kind of like kind of simplified it a little bit. It's like say if you want to make like $5,000 a month, like outside of the month, I guess outside of your regular job. It say you have to find a way to get 100 people to pay you $50 a month, which seems, I guess, more
It's
achievable rather than okay, I need to get this 5,000 like from
Right.
someone.
So chunk it. You chunk it down, and it's like, okay, you say I'm saying 50. So what knowledge do I have in me
yeah.
for someone to give me, not to give, but services to pay for
Yeah.
$50 a person? Or how many we said?
100 people.
100 people. So I mean, again, we talking about the different goals, but this right here got me off my butt on to doing what I've been procrastinating for the last 3 years. Is it 3 years or 5 years with Leandra?
33.
Huh?
I was just playing. I was just playing.
I didn't hear what you say.
I said 33.
33. I should have started back then.
And it's like coming all the way down to like what can you put out, what can you be selling, or what can you do? Like why would 100 people spend $50 is like the ultimate question.
Yeah.
Like why, like what do you have that they truly want and that they'll actually go and say here's $50 each and every month?
Right.
And it's,
Subscription type of stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
Netflix
there's
is on it.
subscription business.
Right.
The crazy thing is that they have subscription boxes for everyone except for, I will say, I've been looking for one for Black women, and like just like something that just kind of speaks to our African, I don't know, like Pan-African style, I can say, like something that's going to, like I've never found, I mean, that's just a great idea. More than 100 people that sign up for that, because there's so many people that are just willing to be invested in Black businesses nowadays. So I mean, but that's the thing, like you were saying, you have to figure out your value. You got to figure out, what services can you give to people so where they're willing to invest in you for that.
Right.
Um,
And put it in
$50
time.
a month.
Because I remember when I started in the Shell's consulting services back when, Dre was 4 or 5 years old. I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning and waking back up at 6 o'clock doing stuff. So I was getting only 3 to 4 hours of sleep. So, and again, that goes to the point of if you want it bad enough, you're going to do it, period. So certain things that I was doing as well.
and like one thing that kind of stood out with me really on these 2 chapters was still, it seemed like he kept going back to the why in the second chapter. And like one of the biggest things is, why do you deserve to earn the amount that you desire? Like Have you put in that work? Have you only had 3 to 4 hours of sleep per day? Have you went out, did footwork like everywhere, networking nonstop? Have you done this work to feel that you earned the right to say that you deserve that money?
You know, sit at the table. So at the last, the journal part, we have our journal part, you all, that we have to do right in our journal.
Yeah.
Uh, those who listen to this, we're not sharing what's in our journal because it's our journal and our ideas.
Yeah.
But
Show my journal.
Screenshot.
So basically, in chapter 2, it's the same thing with the affirmations. It's think big and be specific. So I basically wrote down, I mean, I'm not going to be specific about what I wrote, but where do I want to live? How do I want to live? What do I want in my home? What kind of car do I want to drive? How much space do I want? How many bedrooms do I want? What kind of car do I want to drive? If I said that already, I think vacations. How many times do I want to go on a vacation a year? How often do I want to visit my family? How many times do I want to go out to eat? Like, just very specific.
right.
Like, I wrote down so many things.
And
And
it's ultimate freedom, and that's what the money does to you. It gives you ultimate freedom for that stuff,
yeah,
items, those success.
I'm still trying
and
to
planning
kick it.
for that.
I'm still
Huh?
trying to kick it, so I gotta have the money for it.
So another thing is, I think that's really important that people don't think about is that people always think, I want a yacht, right? But they don't think about how much is it going to maintain that yacht? How much is it going to cost to dock it? How much is it going to be for the crew? How much for the food? How much gas? Like, they don't think about the specifics. So you have to put a budget together
Mhm.
for the attainable item that you want so that it's realistic.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can't just say, oh, you know, my yacht is going to be, I don't even know how much yachts cost, but there's a set price for yachts, right? I just need that much for that yacht. No, you need more than that.
Or
Right.
you put a car like an oil change, the gas,
Mercedes
what the
or
insurance, what happens to
BMWs,
it, what
yeah.
happens to it if it breaks down.
Yeah.
I guess.
I know when I first,
It's more than just a sticker. You still got that fine print on there.
and I still want my island. I'm still getting my island. I've been saying I was gonna get an island since you was 4 years old. I'm gonna get my island. I want my island. That's my big thing that I want. I want an island. I really do.
They sell island. They have like
Yeah.
islands that they sell that you can build houses on.
Yeah, it's the Rob's Report. I used to get the magazine called the Rob's Report. It's
Mhm.
online now. It's the Rob's Report on luxury living. That's
Mhm.
what I go in to set my dream board,
Yeah.
my huge dream board on what I want to do. So, in closing, you all, do you have anything else to say?
I'll say when it comes down to attaining the goals, one thing that we all probably need to do if we're not doing it already. Mom's been saying this for years. We always broke. So like basically be greedy, be unapologetic with what you want. As long as you're unapologetic and you feel that why does it matter what those people think on what I'm doing to reach my goals?
Right.
I'm gonna just do it because I want it enough.
So, you was telling me on the phone. I was telling you, okay, we're gonna save on that, Ikey. But you were saying that you did it more of with yours because we did it on a goal, but you did yours more of a funnel way. You did a funnel.
I did mine like very specific because I was reading this book along with the other book that you had got for me a while ago. So I was reading both of these books. Where's it at?
Look, what other book I get you?
I was reading these two books at the same time.
Oh yeah, Crushing. Yes. Have you all read that book?
No.
So it's like it's basically off of my specific goals. So it comes down to social media.
When I give you the book?
You're trying to figure it out. Like, oh, well.
So
It's a good book. That book right there is yes, it is. It's an extremely good book. Okay. Okay, you're reading my books. I'm
Yeah, you've been sending us books. We've been reading them.
yeah, like this book kind of helps out with coming down to getting 100 people to send $50 because
Yeah,
it tells you
It does.
it tells you that there's 1 billion people using social media daily actively.
Oh. So yeah, crushing it has y'all probably need. We don't. This is not on based on crushing it. We're gonna stay on this one, but we'll get back to crushing. So in closing, Ellen now.
I don't know.
I would just say that don't ever let anyone think that whatever you write down in your dreams or your goals are unrealistic, because they are. They're realistic. They can happen. You just have to, put the work in and believe in it. And that's my closing. What about you?
I just got that on the spot.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say that I could be the voice for both of us.
I mean, yeah. Basically, when it's saying like the first one is titled "Time to Get Serious," the first chapter is "Time to Get Serious." The next one is "What Do You Want?" I think it's just kind of building it up to get to specifically going through and breaking it down, because you need that why first, and you need to know that it is serious. So yeah, looking forward to seeing
Get your financial house in order is the next chapter.
So are we gonna read two chapters or 3 chapters and then come back? And when are we gonna meet again? Are we gonna do this weekly or
we could do it weekly? It'll actually be the accountability part.
okay?
It'd be good for us to check in, just to say, are we working on it as family? So
we're gonna read the next 2 chapters and then, or next 3 chapters, and then we come in together next Sunday.
I think
do 3.
Okay.
These chapters
They're pretty.
They're good chapters. They're good reads. They're real quick reads.
Like I was thinking that like we can do 3 chapters because these are quick reads.
Yeah.
But the action items. What about the action? Will you all be able to do the action items by Sunday?
Yeah.
Each chapter has an action item.
I say we keep it at 2.
Dre wants to keep it at 2.
like I was gonna keep it at 2 because that means we can do 9 live video footages. There's 18 chapters.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep it at that even number all the way down.
Okay. So we got chapter 3 and chapter 4 for the action item.
Okay.
And then the action item. Okay. So if anybody you all know who has the book who wants to join us, they can join us. But right now it's just us. So secure the bag. Look, with our journals.
Let me get my journal.
Bag today.
We both got purple.
I know. Royalty.
Hey, you kind of fuzzy over there, Key.
I like your book.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Have a good weekend. Have a good week.